The diner was quiet that evening, just the soft hum of the coffee machine and the occasional clinking of silverware against plates. At a corner booth sat a man who looked like life had taken more from him than it had given. His hands were rough, scarred in places, but steady as he guided a fork toward his daughter's plate, helping her cut up pancakes into bite-sized pieces. A single dad, he didn't speak much, he didn't have to. The bond between him and his little girl was clear in every glance, every soft smile that flickered across his weathered face. But peace never lasts long when arrogance walks through the door. The bell above the diner entrance jingled, and in swaggered a man who carried himself like the world owed him something. A local bully, known for his loud voice and louder fists, he immediately drew attention, talking over people, throwing a careless insult at the waiter. His eyes locked onto the single dad in the corner. Perhaps it was the calmness of the man, perhaps it was the little girl's laughter, whatever it was, it provoked the kind of bitterness that only insecurity can fuel. "Look at you," the bully sneered, stomping toward the booth. "Can't even keep a woman, huh? Sitting here pretending you're a family man. Pathetic." The little girl's laughter faded. She gripped her father's hand, her big eyes searching his face for safety. The dad didn't respond. He simply placed his fork down, reached for his coffee, and took a slow sip, ignoring the provocation. Silence, however, can be its own kind of insult to men who thrive on attention. The bully's face twisted, and in a fit of drunken anger, he slapped the single dad across the cheek. The sound cracked through the diner like thunder. Gasps filled the room. Someone muttered, "Oh no," but the father didn't move right away. He simply set his cup down, exhaled, and slowly turned his head back toward the bully. It was then that the room noticed something. Just below the rolled-up sleeve of his faded shirt was a tattoo, faded, but unmistakable to those who knew. The triangular dagger with wings. The insignia of Delta Force. The bully hadn't seen it yet. He didn't understand the storm he had just awakened. But one of the older men sitting at the counter did. His hand trembled as he whispered, "My God, that's a Delta mark." He looked around at the others. "Do you know what that means? That man's a ghost soldier. The kind they send when all else fails." Murmurs filled the diner. The single dad's daughter still clung to his arm, whispering, "Daddy." The father looked down at her, his expression softening. "It's okay, sweetheart. Finish your pancakes." She hesitated, but his calm steadiness reassured her. Then he stood, his frame taller and stronger than it seemed moments before. His voice, when it finally came, was low but carried weight. "I don't want trouble. Sit down, eat your food, and leave my family alone." The bully laughed, puffing his chest. "Or what? You think you can scare me with a tattoo? You're just some washed-up vet who couldn't hack it in the real world." For the first time, the veteran's eyes hardened. His hand gently brushed the table, a controlled motion, a reminder that even his smallest gestures were deliberate. He leaned closer, his words sharp but calm. "Son, that tattoo isn't for scaring people. It's for remembering the men who never made it back. Men braver than you'll ever be. You put your hand on me again, and I'll teach you what respect means, not with fists, but with the truth you've been running from your whole life." The bully faltered, something in the veteran's tone breaking through his bravado. Still, pride is a cruel master. He shoved at the veteran's chest, muttering something about not being told what to do. That was his mistake. In a blink, the dad moved, controlled, efficient, years of discipline in every motion. He didn't throw a wild punch. He simply redirected the bully's arm, locked his wrist, and had him face down on the diner floor before most people even registered what had happened. The bully screamed, but the veteran didn't hurt him beyond what was necessary. "You feel that?" the father asked, his voice quiet but cutting. "That's control. That's discipline. That's what separates men from boys." He released him and stepped back. The bully scrambled up, red-faced and shaking, but too humiliated to continue. Without another word, he stormed out of the diner, the bell above the door jingling in his retreat. Silence hung heavy in the room until the old man at the counter finally spoke. "I served in the 82nd, years ago. Met a Delta operator once. They don't brag, don't fight for fun. They've already seen the worst of it. You folks just saw mercy. Remember that." Heads nodded. The waiter offered the veteran and his daughter their meal on the house. Strangers came up quietly, some offering thanks, others just giving a nod of respect. But the single dad didn't bask in it. He simply sat back down, lifted his daughter's fork, and said, "Come on, kiddo. Before your pancakes get cold." His daughter smiled again, the fear gone, replaced with pride. She didn't understand what Delta Force meant, not really. But she understood that her father was stronger than anyone she'd ever know, not just in his body, but in his heart. Later that night, as they left the diner, the veteran caught their reflection in the window, a father and his little girl, walking hand in hand. He didn't see a legend, didn't see a soldier. He just saw a dad, doing his best to raise his daughter in a world that could be cruel. And in that moment, he knew that was the only battle worth fighting anymore. And to everyone watching this story, remember, true strength isn't about how hard you can hit, but about how much you can endure, how much love you can give, and how much patience you can show in the face of ignorance. If this story moved you, take a moment to like the video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to the channel for more stories that remind us of the quiet heroes among us. Because sometimes, the greatest warriors are the ones sitting quietly in the corner booth, making sure a little girl never feels afraid.